Hi, my name's Paul Pounder and this is my wife Claire Pounder. Our son is William. He was born in 2009 with talipes, which was diagnosed at his 20-week scan. The sonographer was looking into everything, asked Claire to drink a bit more water so she could do a bit more analysis on the scan. And it was at that point where she just switched the equipment off and just basically apologised to us. So you can imagine at that point everything was racing through our minds, what's wrong. She then put us into a separate room, and we must have been there for probably 4 or 5 minutes waiting for somebody to tell us what was going on. The senior consultant explained that Will had bilateral talipes and explained what the treatment would actually be once he was born. So it actually gave us a lot more information there and actually passed us all the details about the STEPS charity, STEPS website, which we went on straight away as soon as we got home and found out all the information, which kind of put our mind at rest a bit more. Coming out of that, we felt a lot more reassured, even after such a kind of a scary sonogram, I guess. So yeah. August 31st he was born, and 2 weeks later he underwent treatment which involved seven plaster casts over a space of 3 months, followed by tenotomy, and then he had another 3 weeks of plaster casts before he went into boots and bar. The boots and bar stage was we had to wear that 23 hours a day for about 3 months. And after that, he was allowed to wear that just at night for the next 4 years.
Will was in boots and bar until he was 4, but then when he was 6, we noticed that he was not putting his foot completely on the floor when he was walking and when he was running. We met with his consultant at QMC, and he said that there was possibly a need for an operation. We had some stretching exercises before that to do for 3 months, but in the end it was obvious that he did need to have the operation.
That involved a tendon transfer, a ligament lengthening operation, and he was in cast then for 6 weeks, which the cast was from his toes all the way over his knee. Involved a wheelchair and a frame to help him walk with that as well. So after 6 weeks he then had the cast off, and then he had special splints that he could wear and it fit in his shoe. And then also one that he would wear at night as well. They were all made on the day at QMC, which he wore probably for about another 6 months in his shoe and at school, and the school were really accommodating and helping him around with that. And then he would have to wear his nightly splint probably for another year.
Unfortunately, a year later we noticed a similar problem with his left foot. So we went through the same process again of seeing his consultant at QMC. And he had to have the same operation that he'd had before, and it went well as it had done previously. After the second operation though, the recovery period was a lot harder, I suppose for us and for Will as well. He was in a lot more pain, had muscle spasms in his legs. We had to go back to the hospital a few times for medication. We had to have morphine at one point, didn't we, because he was in so much pain. I mean, that all luckily helped, and then the recovery sort of was pretty much like it was the last time. But it's just worth noting that the operations can be very different, even though it's the same operation.
You can see from behind us that you can't tell that these children are born with this condition. They're all playing football, they're playing really happily with each other. So yes, it's really empowering, not just for the children but for the parents as well.